I'd like to introduce this pretty cool tool that exists on macrotrends.net. How you get there, navigate to macrotrends.net and just click on the stock research. Any of these stocks will do. Scroll down to the compare whatever ticker symbol with other stocks. You can delete the existing symbol, and we'll go over the solar industry just for a quick comparison. So some of the ones we focus on here: Canadian Solar, we'll add Jinko Solar, we'll add Solar Edge, we'll add Sunrun, and we'll add First Solar. And then this will help you go over the valuation metrics for some of these companies without having to dig into all of the Q4 or 10Qs or annual reports. So we can go to net income, and we can see the net income of all of these different companies here. Maybe back it up a quarter so you can see, if we're still waiting on earning reports for some of the companies you can compare here. So you can see how First Solar has more net income than the rest of them. Second, Solar Edge. Third, Jinko. Next, Canadian Solar. And Sunrun with a negative net income for the quarter. We can look at research and development. Solar Edge spending the most. You can look at operating expenses. Jinko Solar with the highest operating expenses. And earnings per share. Solar Edge with the most earnings per share. Let's see what else. Cash on hand, that's a good one to look at. Jinko Solar by far with the most cash on hand, followed by First Solar, Canadian Solar, Sunrun, then Solar Edge. And a good one to, if we're going to look at that, let's look at long-term debt. Sunrun with the most long-term debt, followed by Jinko, Canadian, Solar Edge, then First Solar. And so this kind of shows you, without having to do all the without having to dig into the numbers, this kind of gives you a visualization of which companies are doing better than the rest. For example, I think Sunrun is benefiting from one of the highest market caps of the solar stocks, yet they have the most long-term debt, and they also experience negative net income. So that would actually make them more of the riskier, overvalued companies at the moment. You could look at the PS ratio. Solar Edge leading, followed by First Solar technically now, and then Sunrun. And you can do this with any industry. For example, let's delete all of these out of here. You could even go over the marijuana sector. So we can do, we went over Organigram, OGI. There's Tilray. There's Canopy Growth. What else? Euphoria and Tilray merged. There is Sundial. And let's get one more. Let's do Kronos Group. Okay. So PS ratio here. Oh, and you know what? on that last one, PS ratio, it's actually more beneficial to have the smaller PS ratio here. Tilray experiencing the lowest currently. Revenue. Tilray with the highest revenue, followed by Canadian Growth, Kronos, Organogram, and then Sundial. Net income. Most of these should be negative for this industry. Yeah, as of this last quarter, all of them were negative. Previous quarter and the previous quarter. Research and development. Let's see, Kronos Group with the most, and actually, I don't see anybody investing in research and development since 2020. Kronos Group still throwing something at it. Let's see, operating expenses. Canadian Canopy Growth with the highest, followed by Tilray, Kronos, Sundial, and then Organogram. Let's see. Cash on hand. Canadian Growth with the most, Kronos, Sundial, Tilray, and then Organogram. Long-term debt. Right. So this is a good tool to use. Let's say you're looking to invest in oil and gas per se. You can type in your different companies that would encompass. You can see, take note. You could even open up like a spreadsheet, take note of what metrics these companies are hitting, and then you can see which are the clear industry leaders, or which ones seem to be improving the quickest, and then you can choose which ones you dig in deep and do the financial research on. And so you can narrow down the amount of work that you have to do to find the best potential companies to invest in. So I've used this quite a bit to quickly figure out, get to the bottom of what's worth looking at, what's not. So I hope this helps you out. And that's pretty much it.